Hello everybody and welcome to Europa Universalis 4, a game that's been around for way too long. For a game that has been out for over 10 years at this point, EU4 has definitely seen a variety of features that have been left by the wayside. You know, for a game that's pretty much on its last few updates here, it's definitely interesting to see just how far it's come. But even throughout its long history of updates and DLC, EU4 has one feature that is staring you in the face upon launching it that has never been touched since it came out. In fact, I think if the devs could probably have it their way, they'd definitely remove this. As Rex, today we are looking at the alternate start dates for EU4, and there are quite a few, because not only do they have specific bookmarks that you can click on throughout history, you can also just manually select any date that you would like to see in the world. It's safe to say they were very ambitious when putting this in the game. But yeah, even with all the intricacies that were added originally during the start dates that you could pick from, this feature has been left fully abandoned. So if you were a brave little soul or wanted to play in a different time period by the start date, you might be in for a few surprises. Like King Oliver Cromwell. He wasn't a king. So I thought, why not take a little bit of a look at some of these bookmarks and see how broken they really might be. Okay, it's not a bookmark per se, but it is technically modeled in the game, which is the English Civil War. And you can tell it's the English Civil War because half of Scotland and Ireland are actually occupied. Well, I mean, technically it's kind of like the War of the Three Kingdoms, but still technically part of that whole Civil War thing they had going on. Alright, so we're going to the start here. We've still got Charles in charge, and as you can see, it's not looking too good for him. Oh yeah, that's definitely broken. I got into the game and those rebels all mysteriously disappeared. Yeah, now we're just fighting the English Civil War between England and definitely not England. Yeah, so there are a few things we can look at here, mostly being the English missions, which was added way after any of these start dates even thought this might be added to the game. Interestingly enough, they did actually model the general for the royalist side, which was Prince Rupert as well. Ooh, safe to say the books might need a bit of working over. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one in a second, but I do just want to see what happens if we were to actually just quickly win this one over. Oh, yeah, okay, so we've immediately just been overthrown by Oliver Cromwell, and a lot of events are just spawning in. Oh, and they do actually model him as Lord Protector and not King like they did before. There you go. That's exactly how I remember it happening. It's also just something hilarious to see. You know, England under Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell, and that being the official flag. Okay, next up I want to check out the 30 Years' War. Oh, that's a already a good sign loading in. Okay, so we've got the Bohemian Revolt underway and the Commonwealth are marching on to Moscow. I think that's kind of funny. If you actually go play the Mughals, you actually start with -8 diplo relations because of all your vassals. -8, not a lot of money. It's safe to say this ain't looking too great. Oh yeah, like pretty much all your missions just straight up, well, they can't exactly catch them up, can they? They can't predict where things were supposed to be, but it might be a little bit broken for some of these. Yeah, I think the economic factor might be one of the big things that breaks through the start dates. I don't think they've really caught up too much on how the economy's changed in the game, so suddenly a lot of people are in debt. It is a very interesting little tidbit in history. I mean, technically the economy stuff might be pretty lore accurate here, but this is a little war that can end with you actually getting a union with Russia if you somehow beat them. Historically they didn't beat them, but they were pretty much almost very close. Yeah, I think the Poles, I guess the Commonwealth in this regard, did actually get to Moscow, but they didn't get that finishing blow. Yeah, I think it's safe to say pretty much every nation is not looking too well in the money department, although maybe Spain, kind of historically accurate. Just went into Spectator to see how everything would go. It did not go well for Poland. Okay, next up, we're hot dropping into 1701 during the War of Spanish Succession. That's weird. I was just clicking around looking at the diplomacy of the war. I noticed England still has cores on these two provinces in France. Not the rest of it. Just these two. I'm just going to spectate this to see who does actually end up with the union with Spain. Will the AI be able to pull this off? I'm going to assume no, but you never really know EU4, especially when you're kind of half dropping into a world where France is, not looking great. Don't think the Austrians got this one in the bag. Never mind. The Dutch counterattack is, coming? Oh, the Austrians lost so hard they turned into Austria-Hungary. Although I don't think France exactly got out of it unscathed either. They're currently getting sieged down by Catholic zealots. I don't think they quite understand what's going on. Okay, let's move forward a bit again and check out a bit of a interesting part of France's history. They're dealing with the Peninsular War a little bit interestingly. These are all just pretender rebels. Oh yeah, that ain't good. Funny thing is, if you actually go to when, France was busy invading Russia and actually made it into Moscow, none of the armies are actually over there, so I guess we don't have to worry about them all starving to death on the way back. Oh yeah, don't mind me, by the way, just completed a few missions there. Had quite a few in the back. Yeah, it is kind of funny they bothered to actually put the occupations in, but not where the army is supposed to be. So, you know what, let's go to Spectator again, and just see what happens in this world. Oh, bear in mind as well, the War of 1812 is also going on with the British and the Americans. Oh, this is certainly going better for the Americans than it did in real life. I guess just like in real life, the British were too busy taking out their frustrations on the Danish. It is pretty funny how they've actually just put it down as the gunboat war as well. Yeah, I don't think the majority of the gunboat war took place with the British invasion of Jutland. Well, the French just kind of ran away from that whole invasion of Russia thing. Still got a few men hanging around from some of the coalition forces, but it looks like they're spending the majority of their effort down here. Oh, well, yeah, there goes the neighborhood. Apparently the British are now taking their invasion to mainland Europe, and they still have... Well, they pieced out with the Americans, okay. Yeah, just like real life, no one's too sure what was actually going on there. Who won? Who lost? Who cares? That's definitely an interesting one. The British also just, I think, white-pieced the French, and now they're just against the Russians and the Portuguese, and that Russian war doesn't look like it's going to do well. Yeah, we actually take a look what's going on here as well. Russia's got quite the opponents against them. Oh, there you go. It's over. And they apparently just took half of Poland. That's all they wanted. Well, the Russians won an astounding victory and then have fallen to the Russian revolutionary. Oh, we're a bit early for that, boys, aren't we? Oh, there you go. That is the end of the game and a world where Napoleon had a very mediocre victory. Oh, and I guess the British expanded their permanent claims there from the 2 cores over here in France to now just Paris. Yeah, there is a lot of broken stuff through all of these time periods, as we can clearly see from what we've looked up. Most of them appear to be around the economy for the most part, and I'm assuming down to the development as well. It's probably not scaled to exactly what you'd usually look like in a game, especially in the later time period. I mean, does this mean Paradox will ever come back and fix this? I think it's a resounding no. I think they gave up on this back in 2013 when the game came out. I think while it's a pretty unique mechanic, it's also just so gargantuan to keep updating every single bookmark, let alone every single year independently, that it's really not worth it. It's probably gets a lot more complaints as well, because there are actually a couple achievements that you need to actually play a few of these later bookmarks in. I think there's one for New Spain and the US off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure I actually have the US one. Yeah, for the US one, as far as I'm aware, all you need to do is be at peace while owning all your cores as America, conveniently, liberty or death. If I remember correctly though, there's like a really cheesy way you could do this back in the day, where you just immediately peace out the British, give them whatever the hell they want, and then just go around and revoke literally all of your cores, and that should pop the achievement. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly in the spirit of the game, but there you go, I didn't even have that achievement. Liberty or death accomplished. It's that easy when you're cheesy, baby. Yeah, I'm not too sure why a lot of people actually complain about doing this achievement. It doesn't seem that hard. The British AI, not the smartest around. Oh yeah, look at that, we got ourselves our peace with the British. I doubt they'll... Actually, they will give me money. I guess we could just even take stuff if we wanted to. All this land is just completely worthless. There you go, a free and independent US, and we also yoinked the most important parts of Canada. Would I play on in this situation? I reckon no. But I guess if you actually want to challenge getting that achievement, it's, I guess, challenging that you have to wait that long to get the achievement. It is still pretty funny just to click around and look at other nations just going through the timeline. I mean, we got the Aquinlu there and the Caraquinlu, and then you go 10 years in the future. Where'd the Caraquinlu go? So this is absolutely monstrous. You can kind of see just from the manpower nation start with as well in the later start dates what the game was kind of like before development really got a bit insane in the game, because people were really walking around with giant armies because they couldn't get the manpower. I mean, you probably could in 1802, and if you didn't by then, you were probably playing the game very badly, but let's just say it wasn't intended for little nations walking around with 40k stats. Yeah, I'm sure there's even more weird stuff if you keep digging through all of these bookmarks and even the individual start dates, but I think we've seen enough, and I think we'll leave you off today with the French invasion of Egypt. Where's the army? If anyone's seen it, can you leave some suggestions down in the comments, and while you're there, hit the like and subscribe button. But I ain't like a big EU4 guy, so I can't point out all the stuff that's broken, obviously, but I can tell you it is definitely broken beyond belief, and you can kind of understand why they can't be bothered to go fix this stuff, because it's too much work. And also why I can guarantee Paradox probably will never take on something this ambitious again. But if you do like other start dates, I'm pretty sure the extended timeline mod is definitely the way to go with for EU4 at least, as that does actually keep that stuff up to date and adds way more and goes way further and way further back. Hey, but that was your daily slop. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Slop.